What's up, guys? Alec here. Hope you're all having an amazing day. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I want to go over something that I get a lot of questions about, and that's regarding inventory. A lot of people have a confusion when it comes to how many units should they order for their first test order. Now, a lot of people say different things, whether that you should order 1,000, 1,500 units. Some people say you can get away with 50 units, 100 units. And while they might seem like they vary a lot, there's pros and cons of doing both, and I just want to explain them to you and share my experience on what I think the best route and strategy should be for you when you're trying to figure out how many units you should order for your first order. So there's a few things. If you order too many, you could get stuck with units if you're not 100% sure if you are capable of selling that many. And if you order too little, you might not have enough. So you want to pick the middle ground. So I'm going to show you how you can ensure how many units you're going to need to order for your first order. And in the end, guys, it's all up to you and your budget and how much you have to spend on your first order. So, in my opinion, if you guys only have $2,000, $2,500 to start Amazon and start your first order, I wouldn't recommend a massive order because inventory, if your units are roughly $2, $3 a piece, and that's like, I'm being a little conservative. So if it's like $3 a piece for your per unit, and you're ordering 500, that's $1,500 you're gonna need. So, and if you only have $2,000 to start FBA, then you really can't, and you don't want to go above that. So here's my take on this. If I wouldn't advise for if you're first getting into Amazon FBA, I wouldn't advise you go for 1,500 units. In my opinion, that's a little bit too much for a beginner to start with. You can, and it's completely up to you. If you have the budget for that, then by all means, go ahead for that. But you also want to know how many your competitors are selling, and if they're only selling 10 a day, then you want to basically order enough to test out the product and run through, like, you always want to have enough for giveaways, and then run through your product and then have it just sell organically. And after that, for your second order, then you could order a more better average amount of products for your second order. So that's my opinion. And if you know your competitors are selling 1,000 a day, then I would say to order, anywhere from 500 to 1,000. But if you know your competitors aren't really, if they're selling in the ranges of like 10 to 20 a day, then as long as you have enough to do your giveaways and to consistently sell organically for enough time, enough for you to get your next order in. Because guys, remember, when you once you're out of your inventory, your listing's gonna stop, and you're not gonna have any inventory left. So your BSR and your sales rank is gonna go up. So you're gonna want to get your inventory back in as soon as possible to stop the ranking from climbing. So you're going to want to at least have enough to sustain yourself and your ranking, enough to even get in that next batch of inventory. So it's okay to be out of inventory for a little bit, but I wouldn't recommend being out of inventory for like 2-3 weeks. You want to at least have your next order in and started, so that maybe you're out for a few days, but you want to try to close that gap as much as possible, because the more you're selling, the better your ranking is going to be, and the more everything's going to be in your benefit. So when you're first starting, a test order is completely fine. If you're new, you don't want to spend $5,000 on a test order unless you have the budget and fully know what you're doing, and you create an amazing listing. It's optimized. You have amazing premium images, copy, everything I talk about on my channel. Then I would suggest going for the higher range. But in my opinion, I do not go for anything under 300 units for your first test order, and I don't recommend that. And I'll show you right now that what you can do to kind of forecast how many you could potentially be selling once you run your giveaways and your ranking. Um, but if you only order, like some people say, you can get away with like $800 for a test order, and you could order 200 units when that sometimes is possible with giveaways. And then once you start selling organically, if you're on the first page, you're going to be out of stock within 3 days, 4 days, and then your sales rank is just going to skyrocket, and you're going to be out of inventory. So I wouldn't recommend that small amount of units. Some people say 100 units. It's just way too low in my opinion. So that's what I recommend. Go for that, 250 to 500. And if you're comfortable, you can go a little bit higher. Get that initial inventory in, and you can test out the market. And if it goes better than you expected, great. Get that reorder in as soon as possible, and then you'll begin to sell again organically. So once you're done with that test, so get that new order in, and you'll continue to sell organically, and it won't really affect your sales rank. But I'm going to show you right now. How you can kind of forecast and estimate how many you need to order for your first test order. Now, there are a few different tools you can use, but the one I use is Jungle Scout. It's amazing. I've been using that since the beginning. I started selling on Amazon and private labeling, and their numbers are pretty accurate. I've never really had any issues with them, and that's what I use, and that's what I base my numbers off of. So the link to Jungle Scout will be in the description. I would highly recommend you get the web app and the Chrome extension. The Chrome extension is probably one of the most important things when selling on Amazon. You want to run the data for all your the niches that you intend on getting into. I have many more videos on my channel about that, so take a look at that, and that'll help you guys out. But anyway, for forecasting how many you're going to need, pull up Jungle Scout, the Chrome extension, and I'll show you guys. So I just pulled up a random item, a towel, I think towel dispenser. So if you go to that and you just pull up the Jungle Scout web app. So all you have to do to do that is just hit the Chrome extension right here, and it will pull up and run the numbers for this keyword, for this niche, and you're gonna see how many units your competitors are selling. So if we just sort by sales, which I like to do, so you're gonna need to encounter for giveaways and whatnot. So if we sort by sales here, we see that the top person selling 1,300 units per month, and then 6,000, 3,000, 2,000. So you want to take an average of these. So if you take an average, it's going to be around somewhere like 1,500 units. So if we just do that real quick on the calculator, so 1,500 units on average, if you want to rank up in there with giveaways and everything, 1,500 divided by 30 days, so they're selling on average 50 units a day. So if you order too little, once you're done with your giveaways, you're going to be out of inventory. So you at least want to have enough for 7-day giveaways. So let's just look right here, 50 per day times 7 days. You at least want to have 350 units for a giveaway, and that's not including your organic sales. If you keep up with that 50, you're going to be out within no time. So if you have like another 300, let's say you had 650 units, and then you are selling 50 a day, you're going to be out in 6 days. So guys, really keep that in mind. A lot of people, they like to throw numbers around and say, oh, you can order 100 units for your test order. And, I don't think that's fully possible. And when you're looking at it from this perspective, you want to have enough for your giveaways and to sell organically, and enough to get in. So guys, think smart about this. It's not really one set number. You want to look at your market. Also, it's fully up to your budget. If you're just starting Amazon FBA, you don't want to get out of control. And if you only have $3,000 to start with, that's your budget. That it is what it is. So I wouldn't recommend just like, oh, just not do Amazon FBA because you don't have enough money for your test order or enough for your units. I fully recommend just going into it, because if you analyze it too much, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. And I fully recommend you jump in. That's one main thing that holds a lot of people back. They're kind of hesitant and they're nervous and scared, and they never get started. So in my opinion, just get started, guys. You're not gonna regret it. Get started, get your feet wet, learn everything, learn insides and outs of the listings and launches and picking products. Just go for it and just dive in head first. And don't let that initial order stop you. Do what's comfortable for you, but know that you're gonna need enough for to do a few things when just getting started. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I'm constantly releasing new videos about Amazon FBA, freedom, living the laptop lifestyle. So if you guys are interested, check out my channel, subscribe. I'm constantly releasing new videos about Amazon FBA. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.